impressive. Are you going to sign a new deal, Craig?
Next question.
Impressive performance, Craig, wasn't it?
I didn't think it was that impressive, to be quite honest, Pete. I think both sides were off a bit, especially with our ball control. I thought our defence in the first half was what won us the game, to be quite honest. The Broncos were down there a fair bit in the first half, and I thought they attacked us pretty well as well. So I was more happy with that than our attack. I thought again we struggled to complete and didn't complete after scoring points. So yeah, I must say I was a bit disappointed in our performance, but I know the Broncos didn't play that well either. Because they had a lot of drop ball as well. But the thing I've got to take into consideration is this has been our 4th away game in a row, and obviously we'll be playing a couple of others away from Melbourne as well. With what's going on down there. So I've been real proud of tonight in that they still turned up and put plenty of effort in. You could just Frank gave us the news the other day about because most guys were going home tomorrow. They've got families at home, but they ain't going home. So that threw a bit of a spanner in the works, and obviously they had to get a few things organised. So we sort of made the point we wanted to try and sort out our stuff yesterday as much as we could, and get our mind on the game today. And I always knew that was going to be tough because I found myself, drifting off a bit, thinking about that as well. So, like I say, I'm real proud of. They still turned up tonight, put plenty of effort in, and to get a win here, is always tough. We love playing here, but just with what's going on at the moment, there was just room there for them to make an excuse, not to turn up and have their mind fully on the job. But I thought they done a great job there.
How is the playing group, Craig? I don't think anybody expected they'd have to go through this again.
No.
You don't know the longevity of what you're going to be up there. Like when you guys delivered that news, I know last year you wanted to go, you won the premiership, but how were they when you had to talk to them to go through that?
Yeah, well, as I said, Frank, given the news, and there's some guy. With all due respect, there's some guys happy about staying up here, the single blokes and, the sunshine and whatever, so, and so I'm in that, probably in that group as well, my wife's up here at my daughter's place at the moment, so, but, we've got players and staff that have got, partners back there with, 3 and 4 kids, and, looking, and again, there's not too many of our players and their partners that come from Melbourne, so they haven't got family actually in Melbourne to help with those sort of things, and so again that's obviously caused a bit of stress with the players because probably caused a bit of stress with the partners, but last year most of them come up after a little while, so I we don't know whether that's going to happen again or not, it all depends what happens with COVID at the moment in Melbourne. So, but like I say, I just thought they'd done a great job just to keep their mind on footy as much as they could tonight. After I think we only got the news yesterday, so yeah, we just needed to, I suppose, focus in tonight, and and we've had a couple of short turnarounds as well. So let a bit of steam off tonight and let them have a beer or two.
Nico Hines is obviously off contract. There are a lot of clubs. How difficult is it going to be for you guys to keep him? And with a performance like that tonight, does that change the position that the Melbourne Storm have on whether or not you do try and find a way to keep him?
Like our position is, basically, I think 2 weeks ago I was sitting here, sort of answering the same question in that we really want to keep him without a doubt. We think he's a really talented player. He's a good guy around the group. He's a popular guy around the group, and he gets on well with all the players and staff as well. It all depends, again, what Nico wants out of his footy career, at this time and next year. I don't know, I don't know the financial, what we're, but we've got a obviously a position in our cap where we can offer him a certain amount. Now, whether that's going to be enough or not, I'm not quite sure. But having said that, I'd like to think that he'll consider that he's playing really good footy where he is at the moment. But obviously it's hard for us to guarantee him a spot in the starting team. We can guarantee him a spot in the top 17 without doubt, and he can play in halves, and he can play a bit of dummy half, and he can play in the ruck a bit, so he's ideal for that position. So, like I say, at the end of the day, it'll be what Nico's decides what's really important for him, in life, but also in his footy life at the moment. But as I said, 2 weeks ago, we're as keen as mustard to hang on to him if we can.
Has his performances and form as a starting player this year, particularly the last 6 weeks, has that shocked you, surprised you, or is that what you thought he was capable of the whole time?
Yeah, I suppose it has a little bit. I think the thing that I probably didn't see him was the amount of involvements that he's been having. I know he's a talented player, and he's got a good head for the game, and he's got a good skill set as well. He's a skillful player without a doubt. But like I said, I probably didn't see, just the amount of involvements that he's been having in all these games, and he continues to do it, week in, week out. Sometimes you get a guy that might be able to do it, 1 week or 2 weeks in a row, but then it might hit him a bit, But he's been like that for the last 6 weeks, so that's the thing that's probably surprised me, if anything has. But we've always known he's been a talented player, and as I said, real good head for the game, and a real good skill set.
Craig, when you look at the solidarity of this group, I guess how proud you are of steering them through the post-Cooper Cronk, Cam Smith years. Does that make you want to stay for another 12 months and help this group through that transition period?
Oh, again, I think the club and the team will be fine if I'm not there. I think we've got systems in place that it'll continue to run along those lines. Obviously, things change, as you go along to try and make things better, or you need to adapt to different conditions or different situations. But I'd be very confident whether I'm there or not. This club's going to go on fine, and as I said, all the staff, are in that position too. But a lot of these players now, ever since, I suppose our big three have retired, they've taken on a lot of responsibility as well, and it's probably been a bit smoother than what I thought it was going to be quite honest. But having said that, the big three set a wonderful example for not just playing, but for what they did around the club in their leadership roles. And our guys the guys still there, they've learned a lot off that. And and again, the guys are still around the club a bit. Cameron was up there again tonight, and Billy comes in once a week, once a fortnight, and Coops does some work with our halves. So, what our leaders now have learned off them, is really coming to the fore on the field, but also off it.
Can that give you a second win though, Craig? Like the fact that this team, you've already won 9 in a row by 13 plus, I think is the record. And the fact that you're doing it in the post-Big Three era, what does that do for you as far as motivating you maybe to keep going? Because you can do it with a different team. Oh,
I don't really see that as different to when the big three were there. To be quite honest, it's like I've got a role to play, a job to do, and I do the best I can. My job, I know I'm very clear on what my role is, and it doesn't matter who we've got there. I'm trying to do that job as best I can. And I think that's what we probably do well in our organisation. Everyone's pretty clear on what their role is, and we try and get people in there that are willing to put the time and the work in to get that job done the best they can.
You're not leaving the Storm, though, are you, Craig?
Say again?
You're not leaving the Storm, are you?
I don't know yet, Peter.
On that note, my role is...
That's the best thing he's done all year.
Thanks, boys.